Let's start by giving all praises to the Most High, whose true name in the ancient Hebrew is Yahweh, in the name of his only begotten Son, whose true name in the ancient Hebrew is Yahweh Shai, and the Holy Spirit, which in the ancient Hebrew is the Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders, the GMS, who taught us his truth by the Holy Spirit. Honors to the brothers, risking their life and freedom to push the gospel. Peace and blessings to the elect, which would be so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians who make up the lost 12 tribes of Israel, according to scriptures, according to prophecy. But the elect will be 1/3 of the Israelites who will return back to the Most High during the last days, which is happening now, to receive salvation. While the 2/3 of Israel who don't turn back to the Most High in time be destroyed with America. And that's all according to prophecy. We back with another lesson through the mercy of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shah. And I think this lesson is going to be titled, This Whole Place is a Damn Scam. This whole place is a damn scam. And it will be this current rulership, this world, this reality that Esau Edom, the white man, has created. It's all a damn scam. So I'm going to put up that definition for the word scam. It says fraudulent or deceptive act or operation. It says to deceive and defraud someone. Then we look up this word deceive, it says cause someone to believe something that is not true, typically in order to gain some personal advantage. And that personal advantage is usually money, because here in this world, everything is about a dollar. So again, it says to cause someone to believe something that is not true. And Esau, even the white man here in America, and really this whole reality taught us things that are not true. Especially when you look at the scriptures. A lot of stuff he tell us, it ain't true. And why does he tell us these things? To make us believe a lie, so he can get some kind of personal advantage. Which in definition 2 for the word scam, it says to obtain something such as money by a scam. Because again, everything is about a dollar. So, for example, like how they tax us on our money. They overtax you for overtime. They tax you on everything that you buy. Then if you make too much, you owe them money at the end of the year. You gotta wait 3 to 4 weeks for your first paycheck. You gotta wait 2 weeks for following paychecks. You know, taxes fluctuate from year to year. Never a fixed price. You know, inflation, that's made up. Credit, that's a scam. Interest rates, that's an even bigger scam. So this whole place is a damn scam. But back to this word scam, to cause someone to believe something that is not true. Now, something that is not true, according to the scriptures, or at least the way that Esau the white man presents it to us, is that we have 24 hours in a day. And that's not true. Yet there's a 24-hour cycle, you know, from morning to night, night to morning. But the way they present it to us, that we have 24 hours in a day. And again, that's not true according to the scriptures. Now, why does he tell us we have 24 hours in a day? So he can overwork you, overtax you, and get more money up out of you, get more labor up out of you. Now we're going to get into that. Because really, we're not supposed to work at night. But we're going to get into that. So first, we're going to start here. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 3. And God said, let there be light, and there was light. And the Most High saw the light, that it was good, and divided the light from the darkness. So the Most High divided the light from the darkness. The Most High called the light Day and the darkness he called night, and the evening and morning were the first day. So, yeah, again, he said he divided the light from the darkness, he divided the night from the day. Let's look up this word divided in the Hebrew. So, we're going to come down here to this word divided, H914. So, for this word divided, it says to separate, to divide, to separate, to sever, to set apart, to make a distinction, a difference. So the Lord made a clear distinction from the night and day. Night and day are two totally different things. He set them apart. So when you talk about um, the daytime, you should talk about it. You should talk about it separately from the nighttime. Again, when you talk about the daytime, you should talk about it separately from the nighttime. When you talk about day, nighttime should not be included in that. Because again, the Lord divided, separated, made a distinction, a difference between night and day. And what America does when they talk about daytime or how many hours in a day, they include the nighttime in that, which it should not be included. Might not seem like such a big deal, but we're going to explain why. So, America taught us we got 24 hours in a day, which is not correct when we look at the scriptures. So, when we get here, John 11:9, Yahweh shall answer, are there not 12 hours in a day? See, the Lord himself said that. Are there not 12 hours in a day? He didn't say 24. He didn't say 16. He said, are there not 12 hours in a day? It goes on to say, if any man walk in the day, he stumbleth not, because he seeth the light of this world. Focus here, the Lord said, are there not 12 hours in a day? But hold on, you saw even the white man in America, they drill it in our heads and force us to believe that we actually have 24 hours in a day. And that's not the case. The thing is, he made us believe that we have more time than we actually do. So what? We be willing to work more. Now, check this out. I went to Google. I asked how many hours is daytime. I didn't put hours in a day because they may include the night like they typically do. I said how many hours in the daytime. Very specific. And it disregarded my question. It gave me these questions with answers. Now let's see how they answered me when I said how many hours is daytime. How many hours in a day? F my question. There are 24 hours in a day, equal to 1440 minutes, 144. How long is a day? 24 hours, 86,400 seconds. See that? Not once do they say it's 12 hours in a day, as the Lord already stated. How long does a day take? One day is a 24-hour solar day. But again, I put the daytime, but America drills it in our heads that we have 24 hours instead of 12 hours, making us think we got more time than we actually do. And it's all about perspective. For example, at my job, we work 4 10-hour shifts per week. And this is how they sell it to you. Okay, you're going to work 10 hours, 4 days a week. We know it's long, but it's okay because you still have 14 hours. You still have 14 hours in your day. And in that 14 hours, they include the nighttime as part of that, when clearly the daytime and the night were divided or separated by the Lord. And it's really incorrect to tell somebody if they work 10 hours a day, they still have 14 hours. That's incorrect. Because again, Yahweh Shai said 12 hours in a day. Now, let's show why that's incorrect. This is the book of John, Chapter 9, verse 4. I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. Straight to the point, no backstory. Pretty much the Lord has to finish the mission. We got to finish our course here at the end. But he said he must work while it is day. The night cometh when no man can work. This is going into something different, but it even applies to real life. The night cometh when no man can work. You're not supposed to work at night. That's why the sun goes down. The night cometh when no man can work. You should be resting. You should be sleeping. The body has its own biological clock, pretty much programmed to get optimum rest and recovery when you sleep through the nighttime hours. So again, the night cometh when no man can work. And Yahweh Shai said there's 12 hours in a day, plus or minus. Meaning there's 12 hours at night, plus or minus, depending on the time of the year. Now, for him to say, if we work 10 hours, we got 14 hours left, that don't sound that bad. Because, like, okay, I still got 14 hours. I can still do all this stuff. But you really got less time than you think you do. Because in reality, if we work in 10 hours, but yeah, I said there's 12 hours in a day, and we're not supposed to work at night. Well, really, I only got 2 hours in my day left. And having 2 hours left versus 14 hours left, like they tell us, that's a big difference. Now you really understand. Now that puts in the proper perspective how long we really at work and how little time you actually have when you at home. Because you think, yeah, 14 hours, I can sleep, I can rest, I can cook, clean, take care of the kids, get in the bed, drop them off at school, pick them up, make food. And that's not enough time because you need to be asleep at night anyway. So meaning you're going to lose sleep and rest that's needed to do stuff that should have been done in the daytime. But you can't squeeze that in the few hours you have left. If they want to work you, 8, 10, 12 hours. And if you work 12 hours and those who work 14, 16-hour shifts, that's your whole day. But again, that's why this place is a scam. Again, if they work you for 6 hours, keep it in mind you got 12 hours in a day. They tell you got 18 hours. No, really, you got 6 hours because you need the rest. Man and wife, they had some time. But yeah, they drill into our minds that we got 24 hours, making us believe we got more time than we really got. And that's why nothing gets done. House be out of order, the government raising your kids. You have to reprogram your kids when they get home. See that? And then this how wicked this devil done got. He done created a graveyard shift. And that's why they call it a graveyard shift, because you're killing yourself. Especially if you're not getting proper sleep, which you're not anyway, because you're supposed to sleep at night. So no matter how much you sleep through the day, that's not proper sleep. So you're not getting any proper sleep. What about your nutrition? You work 12 hours overnight. That's your whole day. So what you eating like? Are you really shopping? Because you sleep through the day. Are you doing these things at night? See how this place is a scam. And that's why your health deteriorate. People got mental illness. Houses out of order. Relationships fall apart. And then this devil's so wicked, he put lights everywhere. He creates a building or get all of these lights so he can continue to force people to work. And you think it's for your convenience. Oh, it's safety. He put these lights out here. No, it's about you working. He don't care about if you safe or not. They fix up the roads. They add extra highways. They make extra lanes. That's not for your convenience. It's so that they can make sure you get to work on time and that everybody gets to work. No excuses. But yeah, again, he created a graveyard shift. Then a nigga put lights everywhere. But what did the Lord say? The night cometh when no man can work. Hey, when the sun is done, you should be done. But nope, not here. And this why the scriptures call this place spiritual Egypt. So now we're gonna get there. We're gonna come to the book of Exodus in the NLT. We're gonna start at 8. I think we're gonna get through 15. Eventually a new king came to power in Egypt who knew nothing about Joseph or what he had done. He said to his people, look, the people of Israel now outnumber us and are stronger than we are. And this is the same today with the 12 tribes versus the white man. We stronger and greatly outnumber him when you put the 12 tribes together. We must make a plan to keep them from growing even more. That's why they've been trying to systematically kill us off. That's why they're deporting you now, which they're not even deporting you, really. Dropping you off in the ocean. If we don't, and that war breaks out, they will join our enemies. So they worry, what if we join the Palestinians? What if we join the so-called Middle Easterns or the Chinese nationals that's over here? And that war breaks out, they will join our enemies and fight against us. So this last part is a mistranslation in the NLT. Verse 11. So the Egyptians made the Israelites their slaves, just like we were slaves here in America, which we still are today. They appointed brutal slave drivers over them, which in the KJV it says taskmasters. That would be your supervisors and your managers today, hoping to wear them down with crushing labor. Yep, see that? Crushing labor. They forced them to build the cities of Pithom and Ramses as supply centers for the king. So we built Egypt. Let's look up this word crushing labor. Let's see what that's going into when we look at it in Hebrew. Which I think in the KJV would be hard labor. H5450. Check out this. Hard labor. Burden, forced labor. Compulsory service, burden beating. See that? Forced labor. How are we working with forced labor today? Well, when you go back then, they was literally beating us with chains and whips, forcing us to work. How do you force us to work today? By raising the prices of everything. Now we got no choice to work if you want a place to stay, food to eat, a vehicle to drive, etc., etc. So that's that forced labor today. It's not chain slavery. We in chains and whips, but wage slavery. Your wages, your salary don't match inflation. The price of living is growing faster than your pay. So the forced labor today is, they're not gonna ask us to work 6 days a week. They're not gonna ask us to get another job. No, what they're gonna do is increase the price, and that's gonna force you into getting another job anyway. That's gonna force you to needing to work 50, 60, 70 hours a week anyway. So again, this whole place is a scam. And then when we continue in the NLT, but the more the Egyptians suppressed them, the more the Israelites multiplied and spread, and the more alarmed the Egyptians became. So the Egyptians worked the people of Israel without mercy. That's happening today. We being worked without mercy. Most people, if they do have one job, they clock in 50 to 70 hours at that job. Or they may have two jobs. People don't even, some people may only have one day off. Hey, some people have no days off. So they forcing us to work. They working us without mercy even today. And again, that's because of the price of living. That's like indirect forced labor. They forcing us to have to work by simply increasing the prices on everything. And then that's the thing too. Most of us need our money that day, but we forced to wait. We forced to wait uh, 14 days to get paid. Your first paycheck, you might not even get it until you've worked 21, 28 days already, which doesn't make sense and which is um, wicked according to the scriptures. Now let's show that. It says, "Thou shalt not defraud thy neighbor, neither rob him. The wages of him that is hired shall not abide with thee all night until the morning." So when we work, you're supposed to pay us our wages that day. You're supposed to be paid before the sun go down. Now let's read this in the NLT. And this is America. This whole place is a damn scam. This is Leviticus 19 and 13. "Do not defraud or rob your neighbor. Do not make your hired workers wait until the next day to receive their pay." So making somebody wait the next day to receive payment, that's wicked. But we gotta wait at least 14 days. That's beyond wicked. That's defraud. That's robbery. And then when you finally get your money 14 days later, they done took all kind of taxes up out of it. Child support, etc., etc. Not to mention the government can garnish your wages for any reason. They can touch your money before you even see it. Don't make your hired workers wait until the next day to receive their pay. And this is another thing they made us believe was normal. Okay, you gotta wait 2 weeks for your next paycheck, 3 to 4 weeks for your first paycheck. That's not normal. That's not correct. That's wickedness. But they made us believe that that was true. That's why I said this place is a scam. And the scam is a deceptive act. When you look up this word deceive, to cause someone to believe something that is not true for personal gain. So yeah, you finally do get your money. Okay, now you gotta wait 14 weeks. That's wicked, man. And then the first thing they made us believe was true was 24 hours in a day. We're technically, you should talk about the daytime and the nighttime as something separate, seeing that the Most High separated, divided the night from the day. So nighttime hours should not be included in daytime hours so you can further oppress the people and make them work more. Working at night, is the second thing we went into. They taught us that was normal. Oh, you work the graveyard shift. Oh, you get extra pay because of it. The Lord said, "The night cometh when no man should work." And again, we know this is talking about something different. But again, according to even Esau's science and biology, you shouldn't work overnight or at night. You should be resting. Now, I got a little video we're going to look real quick of this dude, Dr. Oz. I played this earlier, but check this dude out.
Everyone here is talking about is so critical. And let's just pick an average American born in 1964. That average American born in 64 will retire this year at age 61.
So, people will retire at age 61 this year. But keep listening.
Just that one group of people born in 64 could work 3 years longer because they're healthy, because they feel like they want to do it, because they feel vital and vigorous, and they're full of...
Hear this nigga, bro? If people who's supposed to retire this year can work 3 more years because they so-called healthy. We know America is damn near the least healthy country in the world, but let's let him continue.
Just that 1 year.
God damn it,
Imagine
bro.
being
This is a scam too, all these damn commercials.
Working longer is
See, working longer. See that? So you thought you thought America wanted you healthy so you could enjoy your children? You could see your grandchildren, your great grandchildren, to not be a burden to anybody in your old age? No, they want you Americans healthy longer so you can work longer. Listen.
That 1 year. Working longer is $1 trillion to the U.S. GDP, and it's $300 billion of tax revenue to pay for a lot.
See that? You see that? That's that's a scam. You thought that they was gonna try to give better health care for your own personal benefit. No, it's for their benefit. That's why this place is a scam. Let's go back to this word scam. To deceive or defraud someone. A fraudulent or deceptive act or operation. Let's go back to this word deceive. Cause one to believe something that is not true for personal gain. So people that's supposed to retire, he want them to work longer because these niggas in debt. He looking like, yo, that could be $1 trillion each year. That's wicked. Man, let these people retire. But see, that's why. Let me close that out. We're gonna play this one more time. Let's listen to this damn idiot.
At age 61. If just that one group of people born in 64 could work 3 years longer because they're healthy, because they feel like they want to do it, because they feel vital and vigorous and they're flourishing, just that 1 year working longer is $1 trillion to the U.S. GDP, and it's $300 billion of tax revenue to pay for all.
So he going after the working class elderly, bro. But that's why when you go back to the days of Egypt, when you look at Exodus 1 and 13 in the NLT, so the Egyptians worked the people of Israel without mercy. No mercy in your old age, no mercy in the long days, 12, 14, 16-hour days, no mercy when it comes to the nighttime. These niggas gonna put up lights all over the place. He gonna make sure the environment is well lit, as if the sun is out, just so you can work. He gonna make sure you work. He gonna make sure of that. That's why when we get this in the book of Sirach, chapter 14, verse 7, and if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly. And at the last, he will declare his wickedness. See that? He do good, he do it unwillingly. Dr. Oz and Trump supposed to so-called make America great again. They supposed to help get people healthy. But come to find out, they want you to be healthy, not for your own enjoyment, but so you can work 3 years past the retirement age. So they want to raise the retirement age on you. That's why they want you healthy. So again, he doeth it good, he doeth it unwillingly. These niggas make highways and new roads and put up lights, not for your safety, but for everybody can get to work. And anything he do that seem like it's good to the people, to the community, no, it's so people can get to work. That's all he's concerned with. But that's why when you get this in the book of Ecclesiastes 7:7, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and the gift destroyeth the heart. So the people waking up, they becoming wise on certain levels. There's levels to wisdom. People waking up. Hey, but that's why the people mad. That's why the people crashing out on camera. They crashing out at work. That's why you got more violence at the workplace, whether it's employees, etc., etc. And do you wonder why people have bad attitudes at work? You wonder why people shooting people and stabbing people on the job. Pressure make of a wise man mad. They not getting no sleep at night. You working them overnight. Call it the graveyard shift. You telling them they can work 12 hours in a day because they have 12 more hours, which that's when they should be resting. Don't forget the Lord said that it's only 12 hours in a day, so your whole day is gone at that point. So you can't do nothing else, but you got to. Scripture say, NLT, they'll make your hired workers wait until the next day to receive pay. They need the pay today. Bills don't wait till payday. Everybody else get their money then. Why can't we get our money, you know, right away? Bills don't wait. You know, we gotta wait to receive our money, but they don't wait when it comes to taking our money. So yeah, man, this is Egypt all over again in a different way. Forced labor, and again, they don't beat you over the back and force you to work. It's more indirect now that it's gonna raise the prices on you, so you got no choice but to work. And the nations are mad. Prices continue to go up, taxes, tariffs, shortages, people losing sleep, people burnt out. So it's gonna be more violence here in America. People gonna crash out more. People gonna lose it more. People done had it. People at their wits end. A lot of people ready to end it all right now. But we gonna end it here. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. When the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. So yeah, the wicked, they gonna pay you 14 days later. First paycheck may be 21 to 28 days later. They're gonna work you all day and tell you you still have 14 hours left. No, after a 10-hour shift, you only got 2 hours left in a day. Because the Lord said it's 12 hours in a day. So you're gonna trying to do everything else when you should be resting. But yeah, when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. The wicked, they oppress the people. Hey, and oppression make of a wise man mad. Everybody waking up. But yeah, yep. Lord willing, all this end pretty soon. But Lord willing, that was informative, edifying. Till next time, Shalom.